Hello folks. So I am working on some new journals, and they are horse themed, and so I'm making some pockets and stuff, and I thought I'd turn my camera on. So two of them are altered books. This one is soft sided. It's this is like some fake leathery stuff that I got, and I had some fabric that I sewed to the inside of it and made some pockets. And this is a little booklet that I'm going to include with it. I emptied the book to use the pages, and it's called the Biggie Horse Book #1 Biggle Horse Book, Biggle Farm Library. And I'm going to add it in as a little journal, so that will live in there. And I think I may put an eyelet right there to hold it in. I don't know. And then this is a signature, and it is not sewn in, but I have a whole bunch of different kinds of book pages and all kinds of things in here. But it needs tucks and pockets and things. So I'm working on that for that. I'm going to put this there. And then this is another book that I gutted for the project. This is called The Classic Encyclopedia of the Horse. And I gutted it. And this one's going to be 2 signatures, and I think it's going to be a hidden spine. I did some spine repair there. And so it's going to be 2 signatures, same basic kinds of things, book pages, and the standard stuff. So that's that one. And then this one is from Basic Horsemanship, English and Western. And same thing. This one's a 1 signature, some spine repair. I think it'll be a hidden spine. And book pages and tea-dye pages and ledger pages and, stuff like that. So that is that. And the pockets that I'm making, so I've seen both Gayle Agostinelli and Tina from ShabbyDabbyDooDah do envelope tuck pockets. And I got these at Staples the other day, and they are pretty big sized envelopes, and it's a nice craft card. And they were pretty cheap. So I'm using these, and that is what they are. They're 28, number 12, 28-pound gummed envelopes from Staples. So what I've done is I've taken them and I've done 2 things to them. I've taken them and cut them in thirds. Let's see. They're all kind of mixed up at this point. So there is, whoops, that's not it. That's my glue book. So I guess that would go there, and that would go there. And I cut that one into thirds. Just gonna see if you can see. And then I've done some prep on all of these, and I've put some paper just across, because they're gummed. I didn't want to take a chance that the glue would close that, because I'm planning on using that as a tuck. So I've just put some paper pretty much just to cover up the gummed surface. And then my plan is I've used 4 envelopes, 1 per signature. And this is my model. So I put a piece of cardstock, and this kind of leathery looking cardstock is just from a paper pad that I got at Michael's. And I put some paper across the tab. This is a little bit of leftover fabric and a little bit of twine. And this is an image, I believe this is from Mrs. Cog's Horse Images. and I've glued it because I couldn't quite figure out how to sew it and not close it all up. So my idea is that there'll be a tag that goes in there, and there'll be a tag that goes in the pocket, and then if I glue it down on 2 sides or maybe even 3, it can either be a top loading pocket or like a foldery pocket, which is what I tend to do. So that is my plan for that size. And then I also just took a whole envelope and closed up the flap and folded it in the way that Tina from ShabbyDabbyDooDah does. And then I've taken an image, and I've done a lot of printing and cutting, so I'm really have lost track of what image is from where. I have some from Mrs. Cog, I have some from other shops on Etsy. I have some that I've taken from public domain searches on the internet, and some that I've taken from the New York Public Library digital collections. So, and they're all mixed up now, so I've kind of lost track. But so my thought for this is that this will be a top loading pocket there. This will be a pocket here, and I think I will sew this down and around, and then I can glue it down on the page across these 2 corners, and it'll be a foldery pocket that way as well. And I saw, oh, you know what? Maybe this was Rachel from Roxy Creations who did it this way, who cut the image. I've been watching a lot of people who've been playing with envelopes. And so this is just one image that's like this size that I cut and glued. And then this is just a little piece of twine. I guess it's hemp twine or sisal twine. And this is a little daisy chain that I just knotted and glued. So that is the other type of pocket. And these, I've glued them shut and folded them up. And I've cut out images to go on them, and that's the prep that I've done for those. So why don't we work on those, because they're a little less fiddly than the tucky kind. And I have all the images all prepped and ready to go here. So I really like, there's a second one of those, but I love that image, and I love this image. It looks like they look like a whole bunch of Welsh ponies by the sea. And I'm pretty sure that this is one that I got from an Etsy download. I'll try and find the link to the shop that I got this from. And I liked this shop because she included a JPEG of all the images plus zipped files of the individual ones, so I could resize it so it was the size that I needed, which was extremely helpful. All right, so let's take one of these and one of these. And where's my, I'm just gonna take this and put it right there. I don't know if you can see that. No, it's not really working. Just so that I can remember what I did. So, my glue book, and I'm just going to glue that image. Let's see, it needs to be that way up, like that. And I've got some glue stick. Oops. All right, leave it there. This is my Scotch Create glue stick. And you can get this from Amazon. I just ordered a box of them from Amazon. And I figured buying them in bulk would be less expensive than buying them individually from Staples, which is where I found them originally. Plus, you always have one at the ready when they run out. So this is just the right size. And it's really nice thick paper. So it's going to be hardy. And you know, you could also cut the edge off this and have a slide in pocket that way, or you could cut off the edge here so you could have a slide in pocket this way, slide in pocket this way, slide in. I mean, you could make this into a lot of pockets, but then you have to make tags for it all too. So I did on that one make the top a little bit of a top loading bit, so I'm just going to cut that off real quick, and I just took a sliver off the top. And then I will do it like that, it will match up. Oh, good. There's a little doggy there. I didn't cut him. So that will match up quite well. But I should mark where the bottom is so I know where to glue to. Right, so it's actually a gorgeous day outside, but I don't know, I just felt like working at the craft table today. A bunch of my friends are out sailing or out on the boats, rafting and having a little rafting kind of a party, but rafting is where you tie the sailboats up together and everybody, you know, brings something to eat, something to drink. And they were trying to get us to go, but I don't know, just not, been kind of under the weather this week, so decided to stay home and do this instead. And then now that it's open, I can take my thumby thing. It's a circle punch, and I can just cut out a little bit of a thumb hole out of the sky. And there you go. Now this is what I struggled with on that one, is what to put, because it is kind of hard to see. So what do you put to delineate where the pocket is? And I suppose when you have something in there, it will do it. I have that twine, but it doesn't, oh, I guess it kind of works. I've got some of this, where's the end? Here's an end. Hold on, I'm coming back. Sorry, I've got this twine here and I can't quite see where the end is. Sometimes when that happens, I just cut a new end. Oh, here's one. But that's a little bit green. I think this is twisted up sari threads from Sari Silk. It's not quite the right green, is it? What else do I have here? I have some of this yarn. I would kind of cut off the puppy dog. I have a bit of this. I wonder if I could put it this way up. How does that look? Not loving it. See, I had the same trouble last time on that one before I settled on the, put a little bit of burlap, but then you cover up that dog. Put it underneath. Nope, don't like that. That's a possibility. I'm going to wait on that. Maybe I'll come back and do that later. All right, so that's 2. Here's another one. And then here are some more images. Let's look at the images. That one I just did. And there's that one. And that one. And that one. That one's kind of fun. That's a different color scheme. She's riding a side saddle. Oh, look, there's a tired puppy dog in the bin. And I did this one already. That one I've done. If I do this one, the horse will get cut in half. I don't really want to do that to the horse. That's true of some of these ones here. I guess that's true of all of them. Let's try this one. See how this one works. Yeah, I don't mind that. Okay. Let's glue it down. I might even start it a little bit off the bottom. Maybe I'll put, and that way I make sure that the horse's nose doesn't get cut off. And I can always put some trim there. I think I'll have to because it's a little sticky now. All right. So this is a little bit of a mass make. I cut off the envelope there for a sec. And whoops. And then, oh yeah, and then I've got to cut off the top. I don't usually do mass makes, but it does seem strategic, doesn't it? And then that will come to the top. That will fold like that. Oops, that doesn't quite work, does it? Needs to be, that's okay. That's good. Where I will glue to. So how's everyone doing? I had a bit of a rough week, was not feeling well at all. It was I'm gonna be 52 in December, and just this perimenopause is really kicking my butt. Not much anyone can do to help, but so I was kind of incapacitated for 2 days, and then it just kind of wipes you out. You become anemic, and oh, it's just miserable. So that's kind of what I was dealing with, and then you kind of fall behind at work. That's stressful, and so this is good. So this is kind of therapy in a way. I enjoy doing this. I have my own kind of desk ephemera here. Stuff hanging around. Somewhere I have some nice little skinny twine, skinny lace that I like very much. Well, there's this. That works. I like that. It's variegated. It changes color as you go along. One of these days I'm going to lose that pin. I have a little, I don't know if you could see it, where I put it just now is a little strong magnet, one of those strong magnets. And if I can remember to put it there, then it doesn't roll around and I don't lose it. Because I'm really worried. Oh, but would this work too? Since it's a hay wagon? No. No, first impulse is usually the best, right? Okay. So as I've mentioned before, my daughter works at a barn, and so they're all coming over tomorrow night, and we have a cookbook club where it's not every month, it's like every other month, I guess. Somebody picks a cookbook, and then everybody gets the cookbook or takes it out of the library, and there's a Facebook group that we have, and everybody chooses a recipe and claims the recipe on Facebook, and then we have a get-together at someone's house, and it's a potluck, so everybody brings the recipe that they made from that cookbook. And the last one we did was Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, and that is a great cookbook. We had some great meals in that. And this time we're doing the moosewood, and everybody's coming here tomorrow night. So tonight, when I'm done with this, I'm going to make a poppy seed cake. And my husband is going to make some moussaka from that cookbook, which is really good. And my daughter, I forget what my daughter's making. She's making something with cauliflower. And somebody else is making a cheesy cauliflower pie. It's all vegetarian stuff. So I'm very excited. It's going to be a fun evening. Well, I'm happy with that. That's good. Oh, I need to do the thumb hole. I always take the plastic bit out from there. I find that super annoying because I like to be able to see placing when I never chomp it like this. I always chomp it upside down so you can see exactly where it is. So I always take that plastic bit out. Well, that's good. Okay, 2 of those. All right, so let's try one of the other ones so you guys don't get too bored. So this was my model. And so this is going to be, so this would go on like a left page. And the tag that you stick in there, I like to put, something sticking out of it so that it's over the edge of the page so you can see it when the book is closed. So this will be on that side. So what I have more of that background, which worked quite well. But I also have, so this is from an Authentique Frontier paper pad. And I have both the 12x12 and the 6x6. And these are the 6x6 pages. And they are double-sided. I kind of liked that brown. It was so neutral, but then it also has a burlap. So let's try a burlappy one. And maybe I'll use that leather then for the background for the flap. Okay, so it's the same thing. It's just a matter of gluing and cutting and gluing and cutting. How sticky is that? Right, I think I can get away with a little more. on there. So I reopened my Etsy store. It had been on vacation all summer long because I just couldn't deal. And it was a good thing. And then I reopened it and I published most of the things that had been on there. There were a couple of altered books that I made when I first started doing this all. It's interesting to see your old work because it changes so much. And, everything, you watch anyone's old videos and you can see how they've kind of evolved. And, as a group, we seem to evolve. People do something interesting and a lot more people do it. And just like these envelopes. And, which is a good thing. It's very fun. It keeps it interesting. But some of those old things I looked at, I just was not happy with. So I'm going to rework them. I'm going to update them and redo them. You know what? I also have some actual burlap here. That one has some ribbon. No, that's not going to cover it. But I do have some actual burlap ribbon that I could put actual burlap on there. Yeah, why don't I try that? Let's see. That side might be a little easier to deal with, or should I do it like that so it really covers it? Very neutral. Is that too neutral? I'll save that one because I think it is too neutral. I also have coffee dyed paper. I also have some coffee dyed doily things. That might look nice. I'll try that. All right, glue book. All right, so Etsy stores. Oh, and the those 4 journals that I've showed recently, the bird naturey ones. So the one that had the butterflies on the cover, the one that had an English chickadee, I think you call them blue tits, which is very hard for me to say. And Wren and Robin are listed. And I listed them. There's a lot of time and energy went into them, so I did list them at a fairly substantial price. I have a hard time pricing things. Would love to hear how some of you folks decide to price your Etsy store things. I'm not sure. I was looking before I put them up. I went on Etsy and I just typed in nature junk journal. And there's a range of prices. And some people are being not shy at all about charging well over $100 for them. I did not. I don't know if there's so many out there now, and I don't know if that's how you decide what your price point is going to be. But I do understand that there's a lot of time and a lot of materials and thought that go into it. So you want to get what it's worth. But will the market sustain that? Yeah, I kind of like that. Now, here's a question. I guess I'll try gluing this. But I did do free shipping. Although I don't know how. I've seen recently that there's like an Etsy little advertising with an asterisk on things that have free shipping. I didn't know how to make it do that. I was just using my phone. So I don't know if it's a thing that you can do on your phone. Some things you need to do on the computer. Am I in frame? Uh-oh. Oh, I hope that didn't just mess everything up. a low battery. I had a low battery message. Excuse the wobble. I'm plugging in my phone. Okay. So there's that. These are my gluey scissors. Maybe I'll just hook it around a little bit. I got glue all the way down there. If I hook it around, how's that look? That's okay. That way it's less gluey. There we go. Okay. All right. So now we need an image. And I can show you the images that I pre-selected out of here. All right, so there are these. I picked out all the ones that I had that were portrait. So there's her, and there's them. I like them. And as Rachel says, I'm going to audition them. There's her. No, she's kind of washed out. There's that one. I think that will go better on a darker background. So these are Mrs. Cog. This one might be, this is either Mrs. Cog or Graphics Fairy. Not sure. This is, I think, a public domain image. Oh, I've lost track. Oh, that one's kind of like that one because it's soft. That's kind of soft and pretty. All right. All right. Oh, look at this image. You just have to see this image. Look at how sweet. There's a little girl, and she's got her little pony, and she's giving her pony some flowers, and there's a little collie dog in the corner. So sweet. I love that image. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one, but I think I will ink the edges because I just think it needs to. I'm not a heavy inker. I don't always ink. But when I do, no, it's kind of, if it calls to me that it needs to be inked, I ink. But I don't, that's not a rule for me. There are plenty of times that I don't. And I kind of like it if you can fade it in. It doesn't always work. Like I like it to be, it's one of those things. I really wish I was good at Photoshop because I'm sure that there's some kind of way of doing it in Photoshop so that it's just darker on the edge and then fades in towards the center. Because that's kind of what happens on real book pages, isn't it? And that's kind of what we started doing it for. Going for a, yeah, I like that. I don't want to do too many layers on the back because I still intend to put a tag in there. And I still might need something right there. I have this. No, I don't like this. I got it in an ephemera pack from, well, I'm so bad at remembering where I get these things from. I got it in an ephemera pack from Etsy. And I like that it's a horseshoe, but I think it's a cigar band. And I'm not sure I like that that's what it's from. All right, so let's glue this on. Oh, and I don't want it, did I say that already? I don't want it to be too layered and thick because there's going to be a tag there. And I don't want it to be too proud, you know, sticky uppy. All right, let's put that on there. Let's try and do it straight. All right. All right. I do want something right there, though. Somewhere I had a little bag of bows. Little bag of little teeny tiny bows. And when I tidied up, this is what you get for tidying up. When I tidied up, oh, I found them. I stowed them and I wasn't sure. Ooh. Oh, my daughter's making brownies. I just got a whiff of brownie. It smells so good. She's 17, almost 18, so she can cook. All right. And when I received these, I think I got these in some kind of a trade gift thing. I don't remember. I was like, when am I going to ever use bows? I don't use bows, but here I am. I'm so happy to have these bows. Oh, that's a pretty little bit of black lace. Look at how dainty that little black lace is. Not on this one, but I'm sure I will use it for something. So we have a brown bow. I don't know, do we want to audition some other colors? There's a red bow. It's such a delicate little vignette. No, I don't want red. I could do pink. Lavender. No, I don't like lavender. I mean, I love lavender. Oh, that's very too subtle. There's mint. Because there's a little mint in that tree there. Oh, here's a dark green. Let's look at the dark green. Excuse me. Take a sip of water here. I don't know. I kind of like the brown. Gonna go with the brown. Okay. But I'm sure I'm gonna be able to find a use for these with, oh dear, horses. Okay. Ooh, magnet. Stay. It has some tiny little string sticking out. Okay. There, and then the whole thing won't be, it's not such a big bow that it's going to make the whole pocket stick up too much either. Oh, you know what I forgot? This is supposed to be a side pocket as well. So I want to just make a little bit of a thumb hole indication there to show, oh, but now do I think I do. I think because I inked, I now need to ink here as well. Inking, also seems to help identify the thumb hole. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'll do it a little bit in the thumb hole itself, and we'll call it good. Oops. Did I do it there? There. Okay. There is number 2. Here was the original one. There's the second one. And so that would go on one page, and that'll go on the other page. Probably not facing each other. Probably separate places in the signature. So let's do a center one. So this is how. No, that's not the center bit. This is the center bit. When I cut the envelope into thirds, this was the center bit. So let's see. I have the dark leathery, and I also have this. This is pretty busy, isn't it? But it might work it might work for that one. I'm gonna try it. Oh, I wanna, yeah, no, I'll see. It doesn't matter which one I do first. I had the thought, I'm gonna follow through. Okay. So I think we're gonna make homemade sushi tonight. My husband took the dogs for a walk. We have some great lands trust properties here that are, you can go and walk around the cranberry bogs and into the woods, and they're wonderful paths. And he took the dogs, and they're both rescues. The hound, Eddie, decided he was done. He decided he was so done that he slipped his leash, he slipped his collar, and booked it back to the car. So poor Alan, my husband, felt gypped. He had planned to take a nice, long, relaxing, kind of, that's his therapy. He loves to go for walks in the woods. And he takes beautiful photographs, and I think the other dog would have liked to have gone too, but so they followed the hound back to the car, and the hound, who had no leash or collar on, happily jumped into the car and was ready to go home. And poor Alan came home most displeased that he'd been gypped from his walk. So he left the dogs here and went back out to have a proper walk. So I'm sure he'll bring back interesting photos of things that has spotted. So I have a little pile. Can you see this pile? I've just got a pile of stuff that are the images, but also like little casts. Oh, I was going to do the burlap. Were you all saying that? I love it when that happens. I have a very small area here. It's just, it is what it is. I could do the burlap like that and that like that. Oh, I like it. And that will tone down all that busyness of the little tiny horses. Good, good, good. I'm going to do it that way because I want to get it good and covered. And I have another roll. I just get this stuff at Michael's. Ruthie, is that you?
Yeah, I'm baking brownies.
I know, they smell really, really good.
Yeah, Tina is being so freaking cute.
The video's on language.
What?
I have the video on. Please watch your language.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes she likes to shock me. She's a very good girl. The only thing she does. Let's see. I think we're gonna do it. I'll line up that bottom bit. Where's my chocolate card? Oh, there it is. See, I think I will cut the top bit close, but then leave the edges fringy. There we go. Yay, I like that. Okay, so now for our little horsey. Again, you know what? I'm in an inking kind of a mood. I'm just gonna ink the edges. just a little bit. Oh, that's okay. You know what? That actually won't matter because that it's cut a little funny because it's going to get tucked in underneath the flap of the tuck, and there's going to be a card in there anyway. A journaling card or tag. This is kind of white. I wonder if I can, yeah. See, this doesn't hold as much, this one, as the makeup sponge. So it makes the makeup sponge better for some things, and it makes this better for others because I can kind of tone down that white. See? Huh, I like it. All right, gonna glue it. That's Eddie howling. He's got that hound dog howl. And he does not like people coming to the door. You could walk into the house if it were unlocked and just whoop, walk in, he'd be fine, because then, you know, you must belong. But if you have to knock, or especially if it's unexpected, he does not like that at all. All right. I'm happy with that. But it does need something right there. I had a little, yeah, I did. So this is a bunch of that ephemera stuff that just came in, something that I ordered that I'm really feeling terrible that I can't. Might have been FeedtheBirdies. I think it was FeedtheBirdies that I got these from on Etsy. So that says Belmont 7th Race. And this one is like a little medallion. I'll use that one for this. But I'm sure I'll find a use for that one too. And then I think I ordered this twice because I wound up with, look at the stack of playing cards. I think oh, she's feeding the dogs. I bet that's what he was howling about. Look at the stock of all these different horse playing cards. So I think what I'm going to have to do is make all the taggy tucks in all of these altered playing cards. And I think what I'll probably do is, because the backs of these are so great, I'll probably just put coffee dyed paper on the back. And then these guys, I think, need to be altered paper clips. So yeah, I'm so excited about doing those. All right, what do you think? Fabri-Tac? Oh, where's my Fabri-Tac? Oh, there it is, right there. Fabri-Tac. So the other thing I'm excited to try is I was watching somebody on YouTube, as I do. May have been G. Kerr. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was watching them use up all their extra napkin bits, and they were using the glue stick, and they glued down the napkin bits, kind of like a collage paper of decoupage napkin with the glue stick, and then she went over it with gesso, and I loved the way it looked because it just kind of like aged everything. It kind of looked like everything was whitewashed, and I have a bunch of horse napkins that I want to use, so I think I'm going to try making some tags like that. It looked really, really cool. Oh, that's cute. I'm happy with that one. Oh, right. So now, this is the middle bit. So I was thinking of treating it like a belly band, so you could go right through. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put a thumbie on either side, a shallow thumb. probably try and get it even. I really should have marked it to try and get it even, but huh, not terrible. Not terrible at all. And then we'll do the inky bits. Here comes Eddie. Hi, Eddie. Did you get dinner? All right. Oh, I kind of like how that one came out. Totally did not plan that. That just happened. All right. What's the time? Oh, it's 50 minutes. All right. So we're going to stop there. So I'll show you what I've done. I've made... So this was my original that I made before you guys joined. And then these are the two that I made just now. And so this one, no, I don't think I didn't sew this one. I glued the flaps shut. So I will glue these flaps shut, but I'm not going to sew these because you wind up closing up all those pockets that you just worked to make. And the middle, so there's a left, right, and middle. Very happy with those. And so this was the one that I made my prototype. And I will sew around the 3 edges of that. So there'll be a tuck, a pocket, and a tuck. And then these 2 are the other ones that I made. So this one is ready to be sewn. It'll be down here, here, and here. And that will also help with this little border because I'll make sure I catch either side of the image. So that border will be much less obvious. And I can also just, you know, ink it up a little bit and it'll be fine. I have a variegated brown thread in my machine right now that I put in for this project. For the other projects, I had a variegated green, and I really like the way they look. It adds a little extra something. And then this is that other one that I did that I have to figure out what to do about this little band. Oh, maybe some blue. I don't know. I'm going to figure that out. And then next time I come on, I'll show you all that I've done. So thank you very much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and bye-bye.